Hey everybody, my name is Will Kriske. I'm here to do a review of the Learn and Master Guitar DVD course. I'm a teacher and a guitar player for the last 28 years, and I'm always looking for the best resources that I can find. And especially if you're a beginner, it can be tough to find proper resources that you can use, lessons and that. So I asked the people from Learn and Master Guitar by Krenz to send me a copy of this so that I could evaluate it for you guys, which was very nice of them. If we open this up, you can see what's inside. You've got this book, the lesson book, and you've got a series of DVDs and CDs. Now, it's incredible. There's 20 DVDs in here. So you've got session 1 and 2 and bonus workshops. So along with the 20 DVDs, I go through an unbelievable amount of material. You've got 5 jam-along CDs in here, so you can play along with the CDs when you're practicing. If we look at session 1, it starts with the basics. So you've got the parts of the guitar, for example, which is really important. And I'm just going to walk you through each of the sessions here. You got the names of the strings, so you learn the names of the strings on each guitar. On each of the strings, you learn the names. Proper left hand and right hand technique. Tuning the guitar, which is really important. You always want to keep your guitar in tune. How to read guitar tablature. So when you go to sites like Ultimate Guitar, you're going to find a ton of guitar tab, which is the way that we write music to represent the song. And you have to understand how to read tablature. Finger exercises. When you first start out, your fingers are pretty weak. You want to be able to gain strength in your fingers. How to read the chord blocks and the diagrams, and then they start with a couple of chords to get you started. In session 2, you get into basically how to read music. A lot of guitarists never bother to learn how to read music, and you can get away with it, but it's ideal that you know how to read music. It gets into rhythms, rests, notes on the first and second string on the guitar, which are the thinnest strings, and there's all sorts of exercises and songs in each of these sessions. Session 3, we move on to the third and fourth strings on the guitar, and there's a lot of songs and exercises that get you to work on that along with the play-along CDs. Session 4, we go to the notes on the fifth and sixth string with songs and exercises. You get into sharps and flats and natural note signs, and you do some other chords like A minor and E. When we get into session 5, there's a lot more open chords. Now, chords are used to play songs. I mean, a lot of songs have 3 or more chords in them, and you need to know a whole bunch of chords so that you can play all these songs. And you need to be able to switch between the songs, or the chords. So you got C, D, E, G, A, E minor, D minor, A minor, all sorts of other chords. That'll keep you busy for quite a while. And then there's exercises including strumming patterns, so when you're strumming the guitar. Session 6 gets into 7th chords and sus chords and more strumming exercises and a lot more songs. When we get into session 7, which each of these sessions are on the DVDs, we get into bar chords, major scales, more songs and assignments. Don't worry if you don't understand some of these concepts, because they'll be fully explained in the DVDs. In session 8, we get into more bar chords on just 5 strings, keys and key signatures, parallel major and minor scales. Session 9, more strumming patterns, intervals, diatonic and harmonic intervals, and more songs. Session 10 is interesting. It gets into fingerstyle guitar, where you're using your fingers to pick the strings, Merle Travis technique. There's even a canon in D, Pachelbel's canon, as a fingerstyle. Session 11 is pentatonic scales, which is where you start using those in blues, a lot of blues songs. There's pentatonic patterns and blues progressions, so you start to be able to play some blues. Session 12 gets you into advanced chords, major 7th, minor 11th chords. This is a lot of times they use these in jazz. Chord substitutions, so that's you can take a tune and you can replace some of the chords with other chords to give it a different sound. And there's lots more songs to learn. Session 13 is you get into playing the blues, learning the blues scale, which is similar to the pentatonic but adds another note and gives you a more bluesy sound, more blues progressions, and playing a lot of blues tunes. Session 14 gets into some of the stylistic components, so you're learning style, sliding, bending, hammer-ons, pull-offs, tapping, and octaves and things like that, which are going to really bring out the your ability to play the guitar and sound really good. Session 15 gets into some electric guitar playing, power chords, which are used in rock and heavy metal, and the country chicken picking and lots of songs and stuff like that as well. Session 16 gets you into advanced strumming and more songs. 17 gets you into 3-note per string scales and 7th chords. Session 18 is jazz and jazzed up progressions, how to jazz them up, with some 7th chords in that. Session 19 gets into soloing, ear training exercises, chord tone soloing, and songs. Session 20 is chord formulas, how to build the chords, altered chords, inversions, and more assignments. Quite advanced concepts by the time we get to the 20th session. As I mentioned, there's also 5 jam-along CDs. So as you go through these exercises and assignments, there's backing tracks that you can play along with. Okay, so then you got this book, this big lesson book, which is all the material that I've just talked about. So we can see here how to read guitar tablature, tuning your guitar. There's some diagrams with the parts of the guitar, names of the strings. We get into a couple of your first chords. If we take a look at this book, there's over 100 pages and quite full of music and diagrams and all sorts of exercises. Here's the canon in D, quite a challenging when you eventually get up to that part. Some finger picking there. So all in all, it's a huge course that's going to take you probably years to master. But it also gets you up quickly playing songs because you've got the basic chords in there that you can get you playing the songs really quickly. But you can take this to the nth degree by keep practicing. I mean, I charge at least $30 for half an hour, up to $75 for an hour lesson. This is a fairly expensive course. It's in the range of $150, $140. There's different versions you can look at. But like I said, after 4 or 5 lessons with an actual private teacher, this would be paid for. Now, what you can do is you can go to a teacher, but you can work on this material on your own for weeks, and that way you can save a lot of money. If you were to go to a teacher every week, it would cost you quite, at least 1 month or so. You'd cover the cost of this 1 or 2 months. You'd be basically paid for this course. But the ability is to continually work on this on your own. Now, I like students to have teachers, but you can actually, most of the work has to be done by you. So it's your self-learning, and this course will get you that. So I encourage you to take a look at this course. There's a link next to this video. Check out the material that they provide and some of the samples. And if you're interested in it, I seriously suggest you guys check this out. All right, guys. So good luck with that, and talk to you later.